On today's episode of Living with a Classic, we're having a closer look at the S-Type's leather interior. Welcome back to Living with a Classic, and the first episode is filmed in the new workshop. The workshop's not completely done yet, so you won't get a tour of it just yet, but as soon as it's done, I promise there will be a tour on the channel. We're in the S-Type, which has moved into the new workshop, and it's going to get restored here, and that's going to happen pretty soon. Still waiting on a few things to be done before that, and then we're going to start with it. I'm debating if we're going to start with the rear axle first or start with getting the engine out and see if that turns over. So one of those things will be the first thing to happen to this car. In the meantime, also the interior will be coming out of the car and being stored so it doesn't get damaged because it's in really nice condition. The wood needs to be revarnished and redone in some places, but the leather and stuff is in really good shape. However, it is a little dry. It's been sitting for years. The previous owner has conditioned it every now and then. That's why I think it survived so well, but it's still a little dry. So in this episode, I thought I'd just use some simple products. I have a leather conditioner here. I also have a pretty gentle cleaner here, and just try one of the seats, spending about half an hour with these products and seeing how the seat turns out. It's not going to be the end result. I'm probably going to change some of the stuffing in the seats, or at least the foam, because they're a little sunken down in the front. But basically just see how the leather turns out, how it feels, and just basically knowing what I have before I take the interior out. I will be completely conditioning these before I take it out and store them, just so they won't dry out anymore. But I just want to see how much it takes to soften the seat up again. It won't strictly be a how-to video on how to do this. I already have a video on my channel on how to condition your leather seats. I'll put a link to it right up here. I've done it with the XJS. Use the same products as I'm going to use here, and that's how you do it. So now, let's just see how the seat turns out. So I'm going to put the camera on the mount over the seat, get some lighting in here, and let's see how that seat turns out. So this is the seat that we're going to try and see how it turns out. I mean, it is pretty soft, but it's a little hard in certain places, and definitely it's going to get worse now during the winter. So I'm going to condition it up just to keep it soft so nothing happens to it, and also see how the color changes and what it looks like. I'm going to start with just a gentle cleaner. This is Jaguar's cleaner. You can use other brands as well. I think their cleaner is really good. I'm going to spray it on this cloth here and start by being kind of gentle because you don't want any of the color coming off, hopefully. All right, dirt's coming off so far, no colors. That's really good. Now I'm going to just clean off the whole seat, and then we'll get to the conditioner part. Now it's all cleaned off. It's gotten a little bit patchy in some places, but I just think that's because it's kind of soaked or wet, got a little darker. I think that will change when the conditioner gets put on. I also found 3 little slices right here, or kind of tears, which is disappointing because I didn't know that they were there. But that's something that we're going to sort out, so there'll probably be a video coming up later on seeing if we can fix that ourselves or going to a leather specialist and see if they can fix that. But it's not split all the way down, so it's just, I don't know if you can tell on camera, but it's just 3 little splits right there. You can let me know in the comments down below if you've had splits like this in your interior and you've used any of those products that I've seen from maybe Glipton or other companies where you fix those yourselves and how the result turned out. So if you've done that, please leave a comment down below. Now grab a clean part of another towel, and I'm going to put a pretty decent amount of conditioner on there, and we're going to start just massaging that into the seat. This is the first car I've had with a red interior, so I'm not really sure if it's normal that it turns a little darker like this when you are conditioning it. But we'll just see how that turns out. So once again, I'm just going to continue with the whole seat. And once I'm done with that, I'll come back with an update. All right, I've rubbed in several coats, really thick coats of the conditioner. It's really soaking it up well, so that's a great sign. I'm not sure if it's the dye that's coming off. I mean, it's red, or if someone has put some extra coloring on at some point. Maybe you can buy conditioner with a color, kind of like you can get colored wax. But a little bit of it's come off. I can't really notice it on the seats, but it came off in the towel. So now I'm going to grab a clean part of the towel I haven't used and just basically rub off any of the excess and shine up or buff up the leather a bit. Okay, so that was about 20 minutes of work and it's already made a big difference. It's a lot softer. You can look at the color because you have the before and after. These seats were identical before. This one just looks a lot redder and cleaner. That one looks a lot dirtier. And you can even hear how much stiffer that leather is compared to this one. And that's just after one treatment. I'm by no means claiming that this is finished. You're not done after one treatment. But I just want to see what would happen after one treatment. Now I'm going to do the whole interior, then I'm going to put conditioner on again in a few days, maybe a week. Then do the same thing in about a week and keep going until it's really nice and soft. And then you know that the leather is all conditioned again and it's not going to crack and it's not going to deteriorate anymore. So now I'm definitely convinced that the leather in this interior is definitely savable. And that's great because that's my favorite part of the car, the red leather interior. I've wanted red leather for such a long time. I think it's just gorgeous in these old Jags. So finally, I have an S-type here with a gorgeous red leather interior I'm going to save. So I'm going to continue putting conditioner on it, like I said, once a week for a while just to get it really nice and soft. I did the same thing with my XJ12 when I got that. The leather was as hard as this. It's been sitting for about 15 years or so. So I took the whole interior out of the car because I didn't have a workshop where I could work on the leather in a clean space. And I brought it home to my apartment and I was sitting in the living room, just basically putting conditioner on it once a day for a really long time and then once a week. And finally, after about a month or so, I got it really nice and soft. And ever since then, I've just had to put conditioner on it once a month, once every 2 months to keep it that soft and nice. And it's a really nice interior like you've seen in that car. Nice, soft, original leather. And original leather is really the nicest thing to have in these cars. I think retrims can look really fantastic and sometimes you have to do it. But I think it's part of the character that you have a car like this one from the 60s or a car from the 70s or maybe the 80s, that it is the original things in it, the original material that was put in there by Jaguar back in the day. That just really means a lot. And I think an original interior, in my eyes, even if it's a little tatty or might be ripped, I think it's worth a lot more than a brand new one. But that's just my opinion. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. And I want to especially thank all my subscribers. We're almost at 500, which is just incredible. I also want to thank everyone who leaves comments. I love reading these. And also, if you have any suggestions for a future video, something that you want to see, maybe there's a job that you need to do in your car and maybe I have to do as well, and then I could show it on the video, just leave a comment below with any suggestions and I'll try to get to as many of them as I can. I already have a few lined up. A lot of people want to see me work on a distributor on the V12, so that's coming out in a few days. I'm just waiting on some parts and then I'll get that on the bench and I'll show you how to dismantle it and all of that. I will also, by request, show some common leaks on these V12s, specifically on the XJS. So that's also in an upcoming video. And yeah, there are a few other upcoming videos that have been suggested by you guys, the viewers. So if you have any more suggestions, just put them in a comment down below and I'll be happy to try and film a video about that. If you're not already subscribed, I highly recommend that you do. I put new videos every week. You can go to my channel down below and watch. There's a lot of videos, almost 40 of them right now, where you can see on this S-type, my white XJ12, on the red XJS, and some other cars as well. So click on the link down below to subscribe and hit that bell so you don't miss any updates on any of these cars. So until next time, I'm Adam, and this was Living with a Classic. I'll see you soon.